taken back to a sermon that I did quite some time ago. Maybe the year was 2002 or 2003, uh, somewhere around that time frame. Maybe even five. I it was during the era of uh, Pimp My Ride show on MTV, and I preached a message entitled "Who Pimped My Ride." In that message, I gave this intro, and it was the story, true story, about me and my love for the 70s TV show Starsky and Hutch. Oh, yeah. I mean, you mentioned Starsky and Hutch to me. That was my show. I love the friendship, the camaraderie. I love the two cops who were do-gooders and doing good and helping to keep San Francisco safe. But what really did it for me was that red Gran Torino. Oh man, that was some kind of car. Anyway, my father knew and knowing that I liked that vehicle, he bought me a Gran Torino toy car. It was back then, you didn't have the kind of cars that would, be electric that they would use today. We had to use what was called a racer stem. It was a long stem that came out this way, and you would insert it down into the center of the car, and you'd rip it out. The wheels would turn, you set the car down, and it would go. And it would go where you set it. Now, it didn't turn left and right, but if you got you a nice straightaway or a hallway or someplace, you could really let that thing go. And I remember he bought it. And then one day, all of a sudden, my stem stopped working. I would put it in and I'd try to rip it out, and it wouldn't work. I would put it in and try to rip it out, and it wouldn't go. And it was my most prized possession. I carried the car everywhere, but all of a sudden, that stem just stopped working. And so, our praise break moment takes me to what I utilized in that message to bring a point, to bring about a point in that "Who Pimped My Ride" message. Is Daddy had to do something to me because my stem somehow had lost its connection with the car. Yeah. My stem wasn't able to do what it should do any longer because the connectivity was lost. And so, what Daddy had to do, and what shouts us as a praise break, is the same thing that needs to be done to us each and every day of our life. Dad took out his pocket knife. He saw that there was a piece in the stem that was tattered. He simply cut off that piece. And although my stem wasn't as long as it was before, it was whole. And with that cut off, I was able to stick my stem back in, pull it out, and my car was rolling again. Listen, for somebody that needs to hear this, there are things that Daddy still needs to cut off of us for us to work. And my praise is, let him do it. Let him do it. Let him cut off those things every day. I'm fighting with the flesh. I'm fighting with myself. And I have to have things, and you have to have things cut off of you every day just so that you can be able to function. Imagine what life would be like if Daddy just let us walk around angry, if Daddy just let us walk around hurting. He has to take away some of those things so that we can function, so that our ride can roll again. And so when I asked the question, who pimped my ride? Yeah, it was Jesus. Oh, it was Jesus. He's the one that pimped our ride. He's the one that took the sacrifice as us. And because he was us, and because we trust God, because we have the Holy Spirit now, every day I'm getting trimmed up just so that I can keep rolling like my Gran Torino. That's a praise break for us, for somebody. Every day, he's working on you. Things don't work all the time. And although yours, it may not look like what it used to look like. Oh, I'm so glad that I looked at my hands and they look new. I looked at my feet and they do too. Daddy pimped my ride. That's the praise break for today.